The fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of one of the most significant geopolitical entities of the 20th century and brought about a fundamental transformation in the global political landscape. The collapse of the Soviet Union was the culmination of various internal and external factors that had been building up over several decades. Internally, the Soviet Union faced a combination of economic stagnation, political repression, and nationalist aspirations from its diverse republics. The Soviet economy, burdened by a centrally planned system, was unable to keep pace with the technological advancements and productivity gains of Western capitalist economies. The inefficient allocation of resources, coupled with a lack of consumer goods and widespread corruption, resulted in declining living standards for many Soviet citizens. Political repression under the Soviet regime also played a significant role in the country's demise. The Soviet leadership, particularly under general secretaries such as Leonid Brezhnev and Konstantin Chernenko, clamped down on dissent and stifled political freedom. However, with the arrival of Mikhail Gorbachev as the General Secretary in 1985, a new era of reforms and openness was introduced. Gorbachev's policies of glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring, aimed to revitalize the Soviet Union and address its deep-rooted problems. Glasnost loosened censorship, allowing for more freedom of expression and public debate on social and political issues. Perestroika sought to reform the Soviet economy, introducing elements of market-oriented reforms and decentralization. However, the reforms proved to be a double-edged sword. While they brought about a newfound sense of openness and political discourse, they also exposed the deep-seated problems within the Soviet system. The relaxation of political control led to the rise of nationalist sentiments, particularly in the Soviet republics, which had long felt marginalized and suppressed under Moscow's rule. The nationalist movements gained momentum, demanding greater autonomy and, in some cases, outright independence. The Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania were among the first to assert their sovereignty, followed by other republics such as Ukraine, Belarus, and Armenia. The deteriorating economic conditions and political instability created a perfect storm that ultimately led to the dissolution of the Soviet Union. In August 1991, a group of hardline Soviet officials attempted a coup to oust Gorbachev and halt the reform process. However, the coup failed in the face of massive public resistance and support for Gorbachev. The failed coup further eroded the authority and legitimacy of the Soviet government. The republics, sensing an opportunity for independence, began to declare their sovereignty one by one. The Soviet Union was unraveling rapidly. The final blow came on December 25, 1991, when Gorbachev resigned as the president of the Soviet Union, effectively dissolving the country. The Soviet flag was lowered for the last time over the Kremlin, and the Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS, was formed as a loose association of the former Soviet republics. The fall of the Soviet Union had far-reaching implications. It marked the end of the Cold War and the ideological competition between capitalism and communism. The collapse of the Soviet Union also led to the emergence of new nation-states in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, as well as significant geopolitical shifts globally. The aftermath of the Soviet Union's demise was not without challenges. The newly independent states faced economic hardships, political turmoil, and ethnic tensions. The transition from a centrally planned economy to market-oriented systems proved to be difficult and often painful. Nonetheless, the fall of the Soviet Union represented a historic turning point. It brought an end to a superpower that had shaped global politics for over 7 decades and opened up new opportunities for democratic development and the reconfiguration of international relations.